We will call this May 29th Commission meeting to order. Commissioner Kipley, would you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. First on our agenda, we have Mr. Kent Jones for Communication Director.
Okay. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
I'll hand these out to you too. That way everybody has a copy of it. There's a cover letter on the on what we're doing and why. So this is for the voice logging recorder that we have downstairs. It records all the radio traffic, telephone traffic, plus it also records various lines throughout the courthouse and the facility. And basically what happened, or where this is at, this was budgeted by the previous director, and it's to the end of its life cycle, essentially, where the software and the hardware can no longer be supported. There's been a few intermittent issues going on with the recorder. So, and this is something that myself and IT will be able to do the install on. So then when you look at the quote, there's the grand total, $18,905, but there's also an additional $1,812.32 tacked onto that, which is it's already in the budget. It's just how the balance works out for the service contracts on it. Just depends on when the delivery date is. That number will shift a little bit. But with this, you know, like I said, it's just a hardware refresh, more or less. It's going to send us the new box. Basically, everything's interfaceable with what we already have. Should be minimal fees on that piece of it as far as getting everything installed.
How old is the system we have?
6 to 8 years old. I couldn't find the exact date on it, but yeah, it's been
It doesn't last very long, does it?
Yeah, well,
Technology is called.
It's no different than a normal computer, you know, as far as like, you know, Windows, you go from Windows 7 up to Windows 10. I mean, as they do that, all that hardware that's in those just fades it out over time.
So
This one, oh boy.
Great. And the second sheet, this is
That's
the
part of
annual cost?
Yeah, so right now, if you look on there, you'll see that Tier 2 hardware exchange.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're on right now. So that's budgeted for every year. Essentially, by doing it that way, if we do have a card go bad or a power supply go bad, essentially I can call the organization, say, I need this piece, they'll overnight it immediately. Mm-hmm. We put it in, work with their tech support online, and they can remote into the box along with us, and then we can get that thing back up and running. So that piece is already, you know, existing, that yearly fee, basically.
For this year?
Yeah.
So then the rest of it, what is it, there's that, about 20, almost 30,000? I'm reading all these numbers going down here, and if you're saying the 7 is...
No, yeah, so the only one we're using is that Tier 2, that would be the form that we're on. That's not going to change from where we presently are.
Okay, and the rest of these you won't be using?
No, there are other options that the company uses. Essentially, just put them on their quotes so everybody can see what they have.
Okay.
But we use the Tier 2 hardware exchange just for the fact is we can support it. Most, you know, do the main support here for it with IT's help. And
so every year we'll have the 7?
Yep, that's there no matter what.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry, please.
Yep, absolutely.
Is this one of the only companies that offers this, that we only have one quote?
Yeah, no, there are other companies that do it, but why we have to use this one, the whole wiring down in the server room is already retrofitted for this, and then also the Telex radio system is already retrofitted for this type of recorder. In order to try and get a different one or a different brand, the fees would be just through the roof. Essentially, I can more or less take this box out, put the new box in, plug it in, get it online, and then we're set up and running again. So there's minimal downtime, minimal install fees because we can do most of that on our own with this company. They allow us to do that kind of thing.
So basically, you're saying this device is more compatible to our current equipment that mates up with this?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes, yeah.
So you are still paying the 600 installation, but that's low, second page, it says installation $600.
Yep, and that's part of their online, that's part of their support coming from them, basically. And then also, there is a local company that will have a little bit to do with that, too. Control Electronics does a little bit of it on some of the retrofit, but for the most part, I think we'll be able to cover most of that. So odds are that number, he added into the quote, so it's there.
That's if they were to do all of it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I
So
don't
it should
think,
be less than that.
I'm thinking so.
Okay.
Yeah. I just told him to put all those numbers in the quote, just so we had everything, just to be sure, so.
Well, it's already in the budget, and I think we need it, I'd move approval.
I'll second it.
Moved by Kempley, second by Hanson, to approve the upgrade on the, what do I want to call this, Kent?
It's a voice logging recorder.
Voice logging recorder. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you,
Thank
Ken.
you very much.
Everything going good in the basement?
It is.
Good.
It is, going well. Yep, you bet.
Good to hear.
Yeah,
Thank you.
all right, thank you
Have a
all.
great day.
Thanks,
Have a
Ken.
good day.
Next on our agenda, we have Mr. Dirk Rogers, right-of-way occupancy for Northern Valley and funding agreement for Bridge 271.
I see you've got the funding agreement, it's also down in regular paperwork, so I can tell you what it is, but I see it was already addressed, so we'll just do that first since we're already talking about it. It's just our second big grant that we got, replacement grant. This is the one we would have been awarded this spring. This is the agreements saying we're paying half, the state's paying half, and to identify the engineer, get it going on design, and just move it forward. The expectation is that it would get bid sometime next year. However, ours that from last year still hasn't been bid for this year yet, so we'll just see if that stuff gets backed up. But at any rate, this would be a bridge that I would hope would be built next year, and like my budget request for 2019 will reflect that, so.
So this is one north of Columbia now?
Yep, this is the
Hall's
one-
this year.
What's that?
Hall's this year.
Hall's is this year, yep. And that could be let any minute. I should have probably called them this morning just to see, but that one it's coming down the home stretch hopefully. And then this one here, it's the outlet of the Sand Lake there. It's basically on the Jim River, but and these are almost identical, so the costs are real similar. And our costs on either one of them is about $900,000, about 50% of it. So that's what the agreement is that you guys will go through later on there.
Okay.
Okay.
Our share is $900,000.
Yep. And just for a point of reference, I like to say up to about 100 feet, they're about $10,000 a foot, so 100 footer is about $1 million. When you start getting off beyond 100 feet, there's a little economy of scale there that, it gets a little bit cheaper. But this one up at Hecla was 1.7, if you remember, we did the whole thing ourselves. These are all comparable as far as the type of bridge and what they're supposed to be doing, so. But it's good, that's where the raised license plates and fees and stuff that have been over about the last 3 years have been accumulating, and that's what that money's gone for, is to hopefully expand the bridge program. And this was, I believe, $9 million this year, and next year it jumps to 15. So hopefully the list will keep getting longer of what we can get replaced.
Do I need a motion for funding agreement on the Bridge 271?
Second.
Moved by Kempley, second by Sutton, to approve the funding agreement for Bridge 271. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Do you need copies of that, Sarah? Do you have all that?
I think I have it in the packet.
The others,
And then the right-of-way, I'm going out of order here, so if anyone's gotten confused, we just flip the two items, okay? It was for the press, not for you guys. These other two are just right-of-way occupancy. They're both for Northern Valley, and they're both in the vicinity of Brown County 13 and 10, the old highway in Prairiewood. going into, looks like it's stair stuff. It's running fiber optic, just going from a pedestal. Each of the houses there, that's County 10. And then the other one is right around the corner. It's in a different section, so he's got to submit 2 of them. This would just be parallel and Prairie Wood going over to where the new construction is, so. Nothing too snaky, it's just running fiber optic in there. They'll bore the roads and the right-of-ways, and they'll plow when they're on private property. So I recommend them for approval.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Hanson, to approve the right-of-way occupancy for Northern Valley. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And that's it, unless you guys want to talk about something else.
Did you ever call the state on that dynamic braking up by Houghton, coming into Houghton? Did they, what was the result of that, you know, that?
Yep. Yeah, I talked to somebody.
Did they put a sign up, or what did they?
I haven't noticed they put a sign up or not yet, but I know there was, because I did follow up with them on the one south of town, which was sort of what started that whole deal. It was actually anyway, the city and the state, because they wanted to move that further south, but yeah, I'll follow up on that.
He didn't call me or anything, I just got to think the other day, I wondered if that ever got done or whatever happened with that, so I was just...
No, I gotta admit, I just kind of, it got warm out and I got distracted. So,
Did they ever do anything south of town?
with it yet? No, they haven't yet. We probably can move that forward and at least the one request that I've had on the Hale Mile, right there. We could probably put that one up or get that started. I gotta review that policy now, or review the ordinance. If you guys gotta make a motion or approve the location, I believe.
I think we do it just like a speed limit
Yeah,
change.
sorry about that.
And the one by Albion, it's the state highway, we don't have to do anything, you
No.
just have to contact them and they'll take care of it on
Yep.
their end.
Yep. And we're, we had flaggers there all week, so when the flaggers went away over the weekend, it didn't even dawn on me to move the signs back further on 14 there.
Sure.
But we're on our last bit of 14 for the milling and the layback, and then it'll be like it is for the rest of the week, and Monday we'll shoot oil hopefully, and Tuesday of next week we'll start paving it. So I'm hoping that'll take probably 8 days, because we're going to do 2 lifts up there. But I don't know if you've driven over it, since I told everybody to stay away, but it came out pretty nice. I'm pretty pleased. We put some additive in there and used our concrete-based gravel, and it's set up really hard, so hopefully it'll hold up.
Good, those soft spots that you took out last fall, did they firm up now?
Yeah, well, they didn't firm up because we dug them out. It's more of what we just did now, is kind of taking care of all of it. Like I said, I'm pretty surprised. I mean, I expected there to be a little, when we were done, we have a couple spots I have to go back to and dig out, but I don't see them yet, so. And we were hauling on it while they were relaying it in the back end, so I mean, we've already been running truck traffic on it pretty hard, so.
Good.
Yeah.
And the game plan is to leave that, let it pack for a few weeks, months, and then pave it back, right?
No, Tuesday, we're gonna pave
Tuesday
it,
they're
starting
paving.
Tuesday.
Because I'd had a couple people say to me in the past, when we did that stretch and we didn't pack it correctly, it started to break up within a month. So to
Yep.
make sure it's well packed, because I
Yep.
think our former highway superintendent, her plan was to pack it throughout the whole summer, and then the public had an outcry of, when are you going to pave it back?
Right.
So she did it too soon, and the thing broke apart within a month.
I'm pretty culpable from about 2002 when we did that the first time. I made a bad decision on those north 2 miles. The first mile, like starting down, we had it was originally a 6-mile job, and 1 through 3 miles, so the first 3 going up to Prairie Wood, we took off 1.5 inches of asphalt and put 2 inches back. The mile that's right adjacent to Prairie Wood, starting from the golf course, that first mile going north, that was a full depth. That wasn't where we milled off some and then paved it back. That was, we ground the whole thing all the way through for that 1 mile. Now, at the time, I can't remember, but there was a reason. I must have been, that mile was worse or something, and then we took 2 inches off the rest of it. So in those 6 miles, it's just that mile there that had full depth. And that thing failed. I mean, it failed right away the first time as well. and we dug it out a couple times, and then in 11 and 2007 and 2011, it took on a lot of water. I mean, from the pictures I've seen, I wasn't here in 11, obviously. So I guess I'm looking at it a little bit. I got a chance to correct my mistake from 16 years ago, you know. But you're absolutely right. That is why we did this process this time, and we also added in some snake oil or road Viagra, whatever you want to call it. We added in there to hopefully address that. For that reason is I didn't want to leave it for a year with truck traffic going on it. So, but I feel pretty good about the way it is. We also added, it's got 6 inches more gravel than the last time it was built as well. So hopefully it'll last more than, but no, that was a rugged deal because we were trying to pass an opt-out at the same time and that road failed right after that, and you're standing there trying to explain, you know, give me some more money so I can do this again, you know.
Well, and I didn't even know the history of it. I just had 2 separate people from the public say, make sure that you guys don't pave it right away, even if the public wants you to, because they remembered what happened.
Yep.
I said, okay, I'll pass it on.
No, and we've done things to address that.
Different things,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
so. Other than that, everything, I think we're going along, so.
We had that agreement in the packet for the transportation alternative.
Yeah.
Do we do anything with that?
Not usually.
Yeah, that's more bike paths and...
Right, the problem with it is I have trouble coming here and justifying matching. It's always the match on stuff. There's really some good programs there, and there's some good things you can do with that money. But it's really hard for me to stand here and say we need to take $10,000 and match it for this bike path when I've always just put that stuff over here. If we were ever able to get a benevolent organization or the Sercoma Club or somebody like that that wanted to pay that match, I wouldn't have a problem with the county administrating a project. But, I mean, we can do those kinds of things, but it's hard to just take, you know, highway department money and say I'm going to go do a bike path with it. I'm not wired that way,
I agree.
so.
Were you thinking about using those funds for the sidewalk or whatever, going up to that new development?
Yep.
Using the city match funds?
Right, we weren't, it was,
You were just the sponsor?
yeah, I was gonna sponsor and run it through, but it's kind of that same rabbit's hole you end up going down sometimes with federal programs, where by the time you pay all the things you have to pay in order to meet the federal requirement to qualify for the money, you're better off to just spend your local dollars and do what you want. Now, that's just an example there. Those are kind of cumbersome projects. I'm not saying they don't have value in the right application and stuff, but.
Is the city still planning on doing that sidewalk?
Yep,
north of
as far as I
Holgate?
know.
Is it this year completely?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Maybe we have the Chamber Transportation committees today. Maybe I'll ask that question and see what the status of it is.
And with the new development, they'll probably go the whole half mile, I think
Yep.
that's the game plan.
Yep.
Good.
Sounds great.
All right? Are we
Thanks,
good?
Brett.
Looks like we're good.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
sir.
All right?
Have a good week.
I'm gonna. Thank you. You guys do.
Thank you.
Sarah, you want to take care of a few of your things?
Yeah, okay. So I have the minutes from May 22nd, and there's an amendment for wage works by changing it from 525 to 475.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Kempley, to approve the general minutes with the amendment to wage works.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Claims and payroll.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Hanson, approve claims and payroll. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
HR report.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Hanson, to approve the HR report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The Richmond Lake Association lottery application.
Move it. Second.
Moved by Hanson, second by Sutton, to approve the lottery application. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The Webwater Aberdeen Area Horsemen Association and the Aberdeen Police Department leases.
I would move those with the one correction on the web.
I have to abstain from the web.
I'll second.
Moved by Kempley, second by Sutton, to approve the leases with the one amendment on the web. All in favor?
Aye.
And
Opposed?
I abstain.
Motion carries.
The malt beverage license renewal.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Hanson, second by Kippley to approve the malt beverage license renewals. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Max wanted me to bring this up for discussion.
We already
well,
did that
already
under
made a
dirt.
motion.
Oh, no, Dirk?
I
Okay,
think we did the one.
We did.
sorry.
That's okay. Max wanted me to bring this up for discussion. The proceeds from the landfill, from the surplus sale was $58,000, and she wants to move that to the general fund. Just for discussion, she didn't say anything.
That was the landfill or the highway
The
department?
landfill.
That was the
It was a scraper and a road blader.
Part of it was for landfill.
And
Yeah.
part of the rest of this was highway.
The rest of it was sheriff,
Okay.
DOE, highway,
Right now, you have to call them out.
jail.
And I put it in the packet.
So the rest of it goes to where?
Oh.
This is just the landfill portion?
This is just to
The
here.
bottom two
58,000.
is just landfill.
Yep.
Then we have sheriff, rehab. That one doesn't say. I'm assuming that the rest
Highway.
are highway.
And then jail. No.
At DOE,
Yep, DOE.
fairgrounds.
And then this one must be highway as well. Yep.
What? If we do it, can we just put them all back to their departments without having?
Well, that was my
Well,
question. Are
we
we just
usually
moving the
put
two or
them-
the other ones just
We
go back to the
usually put them
department?
back to their department, but these two from the landfill, she wants to move to the general fund.
I think we could do that. Landfill doesn't need.
And there's a codified law where it's up to the governing board.
Can we move it to anywhere, or does it have to go back to general?
Back to the general,
Or to the
or to the
designated?
capital outlay fund of school district. Or back to the department.
But she's not that one.
Put it on
It
the
was just-
agenda just to be safe,
Well, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Phil wants that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Make note of that.
You want it in the school outlay, does?
Next item?
Okay.
That's all I
Well,
have.
that'll be on the agenda for next week.
Next week, yep, I'll
Okay.
put it on there.
Anything else? sir?
Nope, that's all I got.
Gary, you have anything?
No, we're good this week.
Man,
Chris.
I like these short weeks.
I have plenty of stuff, but
Yeah.
nothing we need to talk
Move
about.
that
I have all that, but please.
Bring Judy in.
Probably have a short exec for a contract.
I would make the motion to go into exec for contract.
Second.
Moved by Kipling, second by Sutton to go into exec for contract.
Proposed or pending litigation?
Uh,
Probably proposed if it's a contract.
I would add that to my motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are in exec. Sarah and Judy from maintenance joined in.
Okay.
No action as a result of exec. Does anybody, Sarah, you have anything else come up?
Nope.
Gary, did you have anything? Anybody have anything in attendance? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move. Second.
Moved by Hanson, second by Sutton to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
A shorter meeting is